All right, we're going to move on to trend three. We're going to talk a little bit about supply chain and distribution. So I do think certainly this is a global issue, that both inside and outside the industry, people are experiencing material shortages. Hello, don't try to buy a car anytime soon. Shipping delays, there's a lack of trucks and assets and drivers. I think Amazon has done a great job at snapping up all of the drivers that they can. So across the board, I see people, struggling with this issue. In the industry, people are looking, I would say, what I notice is people trying to get better control of the supply chain. So looking at where they're sourcing their materials and trying to, source pottery or ceramics locally, trying to get North American based suppliers. So it minimizes the risks from the impact of overseas suppliers. We do have, we know some growers who maybe had focused on solely distribution and have made investments to get better control of their own supply chain, and so have started to grow more of their own products so they're not as reliant as other people's to provide them. Todd,
But
is there
really, I think the software really comes in. We know, and we used to use Excel a lot too. So much of the industry is on a QuickBooks or something, and even even QuickBooks where we see just accounting. And I've seen the most impressive spreadsheets though throughout my career, especially with Velosio. I mean, entire purchasing and growing and all that in 70 tabs in a spreadsheet, and I'm sure all of you have dealt with it, and it works, but it gets to a point, Excel is not a database, and it's not meant to be. It's probably the strongest and most popular tool that Microsoft has, but when it comes down to you have, 53 or 52 weeks planned for a year, and all of a sudden half the pottery you're not going to be able to get. You've already, done all of your purchasing tabs, maybe made purchase orders out of those and do all that, and good luck trying to figure out what do I have to update, where do I have to go, and in a system like Business Central, with all the requirements planning and demand forecasting, you have tools and engines really to go through all of your planning and that and update that. And we have so many horror stories of really through COVID of prospects, current customers, that ran into this issue and took them like a week, or more to really update their planning and everything because everything is in a calculated, spreadsheet.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw some growers make change because of this, as a result of COVID, 40% of their sales canceled or delayed. They also had a huge drop in labor. It took an inordinate amount of time to replan, especially, what do they need to produce when so many of their orders got delayed or held up? When you have substantially less labor, where do you focus your resources to make sure you're getting everything out the door that really needs to get out the door? So in this case, they would shift their resources to that which was shipping. Let's get it out and ship. But then that had a downstream impact of, well, we didn't transplant today, so what's the impact? So, they made a move, and software is certainly not going to solve all of your supply chain issues, but having the tools in place to help you at least understand your demand. What is it that you need to produce and have available and when? And then what are your supply sources and how are they doing and what's the timing of that? And then certainly once you've got it all over, we've got all together, we've got tools to help you rack and plan shipments for all of those materials that you're shipping out. But it's not the end all be all, but having the tools in place to help you better operate has an impact.